Yes, no, yes, no, oh my god, I don't know. This is the biggest decision of my career. Should I really go for an MBA?
Seriously? Existential crisis already? Let's back it up a little. Meet Preps. Just like you, he's always been a dedicated student. Curious, ambitious, and always hungry to learn more. While others studied just to pass, Preps wanted to master every subject. And when he started working, no one was more committed. First to arrive, last to leave. Always looking for ways to improve. He even took work home. Late nights, extra effort, making sure every report was flawless, every presentation perfect. But now, Preps is facing one of the biggest decisions of his life. Should he get an MBA? Will it be the smartest investment he's ever made, or the worst mistake of his career? Let's find out.
Alright, so why do people even go for an MBA? There are 3 big reasons that influence this decision.
Let's start with the first reason.
An MBA isn't just about attending classes. For 2 years, you're constantly interacting. Group projects, networking events, sports tournaments, cultural activities, you name it. I mean, you work together, compete, celebrate wins, and struggle through the tough moments. Without even realizing it, you build strong relationships with your classmates. And that's why one of the best things about an MBA is the network you walk away with.
Now, for the second big reason.
According to GMAC, over 90% of MBA alumni say they feel more prepared to lead teams and make high-level decisions. Many companies even push their top employees to get an MBA before stepping into management positions. But why? Because leading a team isn't just about knowing the business. It's about knowing how to make people follow you. And that's why reason number 2 is developing leadership skills.
Reason number 3.
And finally, the reason most people really care about. Let's be real, an MBA isn't cheap, so the financial payoff better be worth it, right? Well, according to GMAC, 87% of MBA grads say their job opportunities improved or their salary increased after graduating. In many industries, having those 3 letters on your resume can mean jumping from a mid-level position to a management role with a paycheck to match. So yes, no surprise here. The third reason is a higher salary. But the real question, is that salary boost worth the cost? Let's dig deeper.
Okay, Preps, I got your tickets. Don't forget your suitcase and passport. Oh, well, that works too.
And the first stop on our journey is India. Wait, where am I? What the? Okay, yeah, India is definitely a land of contrasts. 1 second, I'm getting run over by a rickshaw. Next thing I know, I'm staring at a massive skyscraper. But we're not here for sightseeing. Let's talk numbers. How much can an MBA grad actually make in India? If you graduate from one of India's top MBA programs, like the Indian School of Business, you're looking at around $41,000 a year. Not bad, but not great. The rest of the top schools fall somewhere between $36,000 and $38,000, depending on the program. Indian MBA salaries start lower compared to the US or Europe, but there's a reason for that. Most Indian students do their MBA earlier in their careers, while in the US and Europe, people typically have 3 to 5 years of experience before starting. That means Indian MBA grads may start with a lower salary, but as they gain experience, their pay goes way up. For example, after just 3 years, an IIM Ahmedabad graduate could be making $186,000. That's more than a lot of US and European MBAs at the same stage. Alright, let's see how things stack up in our next stop, China. Wow, this city is huge. Let me just check Google Maps to get my bearings. Never mind. Wait, what is WeChat? Okay, no distractions. Let's focus. If you graduate from China's top-ranked MBA program, CEBS, you're looking at around $67,000 a year. But depending on your industry, that number can go way up. Graduates from the class of 2021 at Peking University are making anywhere between $55,000 and $83,000. Not bad, right? But here's the kicker. Over 13% of them are making more than $125,000 per year. I need to know what these 13% put on their resumes. Alright, China's got some impressive MBA salaries if you land in the right industry, but how does it compare to our next destination? Oh yeah, Paris, the city of love, croissants and...
Bonjour monsieur, voulez-vous une table en terrasse ou à l'intérieur?
Oui?
Très bien monsieur, alors vous préférez un café allongé ou un espresso? Et peut-être une pâtisserie?
Oh, wait, baguette?
Pff, c'est touriste, toujours perdu. Quel pigeon.
Wow, what a nice guy. Good thing my French is so fluent. Alright, enough croissants, time to get serious. Europe is home to some of the world's biggest financial hubs, and yeah, it also has some of the highest MBA salaries. First up, we've got INSEAD, one of Europe's top-ranked MBA programs based in France. If you graduate from here, your average starting salary is about 114K per year. Not bad, right? Graduates from IESA Business School in Spain start at around 99K, but here's where it gets wild. When you include bonuses, their total compensation jumps by $78,000. Wait, so that's 99 plus 78. Carry the, whatever. It's a lot of money. And if you're a fan of fish and chips, you might like this. Graduates of the London Business School start with an average salary of $125,000. So, is an MBA in Europe worth it? Well, it depends. If you're looking for high starting salaries, strong finance and consulting industries, and great career opportunities, Europe is a solid choice. But how does it compare to the US? Well, there's only one way to find out. Next stop, America. New York, the city that never sleeps, the land of opportunity, the place where dreams come true. Wait, is that a medium soda? Everything here is supersized. Even the, nope, I'm out. Okay, before I run into Master Splinter's long lost cousin, let's talk about something even bigger, MBA salaries in the US. If you've ever dreamed of working in New York's corporate jungle or living the high life in LA, you'll be happy to know that MBA salaries in the US are some of the highest in the world. So, according to a 2023 GMAC report, the median starting salary for MBA grads in the US is about $125,000. But if you're coming out of a top-tier school, think Stanford, Dartmouth, or Harvard, your starting salary could jump to around $175,000. That's basically 50 grand more just for picking the right school. Okay, noted. Well, believe it or not, that's actually low compared to what some firms are offering. Because at the highest level, top-tier companies and leading consulting firms can easily double or even triple that number. Definitely, America makes my salary great again.
Preps, that's enough bad jokes for today. Look, I know you love talking about the glamorous side of an MBA, but maybe, just maybe, it's time to mention the not-so-fun parts too.
Alright, I get it, Penny. Time to face the downsides of an MBA. Now, everyone has their own reasons for doing an MBA. Some better, some worse. But there's one issue that stands above the rest. The cost. And for most people, that means taking on a massive loan from the bank just to afford it. But how much does it actually cost to do an MBA? I mean, not just anywhere. Let's talk top schools, the creme de la creme. Here we have 7 of the best business schools in no particular order. Harvard, Wharton, Stanford, Columbia, Yale, NYU, and London Business School. Fancy, right? And how much does it cost to join this elite club? Well, on average, around $125,000 per year, or roughly $250,000 in total. That's $250,000. So unless you've got a rich uncle or a secret stash of Bitcoin, chances are you're taking out a loan to pay for this. Alright, let's put this into perspective with a little hypothetical scenario. Let's say you take out a loan with a generous interest rate. Let's go with 7% and you finance it over 10 years. That means you'd be paying $2,900 per month every single month. Now, in places like the US or Europe, where MBA salaries are higher, that might be manageable, but in other regions with lower starting salaries, let's just say things could get tight, really tight. So does that mean it's impossible to get an MBA from a top school and go back to your home country? Not necessarily. If you stretch the loan to 20 years, the monthly payments become a bit more manageable for countries with lower starting salaries. But here's the catch. Choosing a 10-year loan means you're paying almost $100,000 in interest. If you go for 20 years, you're handing over $215,000 extra to the bank. That's basically 2 MBAs, or, a whole apartment.
All right, preps. After all that, let's settle this once and for all. Is getting an MBA a good idea or not?
Well, like any good business decision, the answer is it depends. An MBA is a long-term investment. The real returns don't happen overnight. The longer you're in the market, the more value you'll get from it. But if you're doing it just because everyone else is, that's not a strategy. There are things just as important as getting an MBA, like building a strong career path and establishing yourself in an industry where you actually want to grow. At the end of the day, an MBA isn't good or bad. It's just a tool, and like any tool, its value depends on how you use it. So before you go all in, ask yourself, is this the right tool for you?